the order at 7:13.
Roll call.
Foster,
Here.
Ernesto here, Richard, not present right now, he's on his way. Okay, the proof of notice that was made out to all the homeowners. And then we go to D, resident comment and the agenda. At this time, is there any comments specifically on the agenda? No comments, all right, we'll move forward. E is approval of previous meeting minutes. And I can make a motion just to table that minutes because we have not, there was a problem with the tape.
Right.
So that he can work on it and get back with us. So I make a motion to table the minute for the following meeting. Been properly second by Foster. All those in favor say aye. Aye. So moved. We have to go to financial report. And you made a copy of
Everybody has to have it.
no, for all this?
The financial report, I can give you.
No, there's a special one that we did.
The budget? Yeah, they have a copy of the budget.
No. There's a special copy of financial report that we make for
What do you mean by
the resident.
No, I don't know.
I'll explain what you have to do.
Yes,
Okay.
that's fine. Okay, at this time, the total assets is $519,000 with $519,112.54. That is the total assets, and this is the balance sheet up until the 31st of October. Current liabilities come up to $89,599.17. Reserve, we have $14,096.29. And have equity, which is prior year net, contribution capital, deferred maintenance, and current year net worth. Income, net income, that is $415,417 with 8 cents. Okay, just make 3 copies for them. Top of that one. Like that, right there.
Hey, how are you?
So are we doing this because of daylight savings time? Huh?
And that's, I send you a text. I send you a text. A text, I send you.
Okay, which will be right now, financial report. Okay. Do you have any question, Foster, about financial report? You want to review it? Okay. I'll make a motion to accept the financial report at this time.
I have a question about you guys on the report.
Okay.
So what you just handed to us just now, this is income. When we talk about assets, this is actual income. So what are we talking about here?
Bookkeepers. Our actual income, they never show in these reports, is about $38,000 a month or so. Now, our actual money that we actually have in our bankruptcy account right now is $15,196. In our checking account, as of last month, we had $248,000, which another $168,000 came out of already to pay the street people. Then we have another $168,000 to come out. And we have $14,000 in reserves. But all these figures, this is what they do for accounting. It's not an actual cash income and expense report.
So I guess what I'm wondering is, as it relates to the
I'm sorry, your name is?
victim, supposedly. Yeah, I guess what I'm trying to understand is, we have an income statement, right? A proposed budget, and we have what we're terming assets, liabilities, and equity. And I'm trying to get an idea of what is our actual income and where does our income come? I know that it comes from association fees, late fees, and possibly other, there's something about clubhouse rental income.
Yeah, maybe we get $300 if we rent it out.
All right, so I'm just trying to understand, I'm trying to understand, like,
All of our income, I would say 99.9% of our income comes from
Assessment.
our assessment is $115 a month, which we need more. But we haven't put anything in reserve for 10 years, or more, maybe more than 10. When he used to be president way back when, we had reserves. Then when the other board came in, they took all our reserves and took them away, and then had no more reserves. So we should be reserving money for the future for the pool that we just fixed about 4 years ago. We're going to need to do in 15 years again, and all the streets that we are doing right now, you're going to do in 25 years again, and all that. Every year we should put a little bit of money away to do the parks that we'd like to do, that we took out because we couldn't afford to do, those kind of things.
and how many units does Marletta East? 385 units? I'm just curious, I found something interesting, so I've had some challenges, ever since I moved here as it relates to my fees. Year one when I moved in here, we had prepaid for a year, and we were being told that we hadn't paid, and we were sent to collections, and all this nonsense, and we were paid for a year, so it was upon me to fix that problem. The burden of proof was on me.
Me too, I had the same thing.
Right, but it's happened to me twice, just so you know. Twice in a row, right?
Happened to me 3 times in a row.
Right, and that's a problem, because that's affecting our income statement, right? If we're not, if you're not collecting funds.
The money that's in there goes in there.
No, because in my case, without respect, in my case,
it already was there.
no, it wasn't. Not in year two. On year two, I was never getting bills. I was never receiving anything, and I'm like, wait a minute, what's going on here? Why am I not getting a bill or anything? And when I tried to reach out to the association, I couldn't get a hold of anybody. Come to find out, my account was already with a lawyer.
I never had that.
Yeah, with a lawyer in collections. And I guess what I'm trying to get to is, we have a problem with collecting money. And I'm sure it's not unique to me. I can't imagine I'm the special person in the special case, right?
Well, I said the same thing 3 times. 1 time I was wrong,
Right.
and 2 times I was right.
Right.
And the time I was wrong, I just sent them another payment. My bank they never cashed the check. My bank said they sent it, but they never cashed it. So I had just auto pay. But that can happen, and the other bookkeeper that they used to have last year, it was very, very difficult to talk to, but the one they have now seems to be much easier to talk to. He's a guy now?
No, last year was a guy and now it's a lady.
Oh, well, the guy was the one that helped me. The lady before that was the one I couldn't ever get to call back or any information from. But yeah, we need to have communication with our management company's bookkeepers when there's a problem like that and have them straighten it out as soon as they can, that you could provide the proof. I had a problem because they waited 14 months to ask me for one payment and the bank couldn't find it. It was like too long, and then it took them like months before the girl in the bank and found it. But that's something that was my fault. That wasn't even their fault. It was their fault that they waited that long.
Yeah.
That's just what you're saying.
I mean, I had two issues.
We need communication
Yeah.
with that, that's for
In
sure.
my case, it was
But it
two
doesn't have really anything to do, because if you had paid a year in advance, your money was already in the account.
Well, in one case, it was already in there, but in another case, in year two, there was no money there because they were sending the notices to the address that I
Well,
moved
that's
from.
true, you need to communicate every year. They're supposed to send you a book
Yeah,
in
I never got the book.
January or December, you're supposed to get a book.
Never got it.
No? And that's amazing, because I've lived here for 25 years,
Yeah.
and we've been through how many management companies? And I've gotten a book every year.
Yeah, I don't, you know,
Well, I understand what you're saying.
my concern is that if it's about money, right? Management of money, receivables, payables, investing the money, interest, etc. And if we have a problem collecting funds, which you're aware of it because I copied you on the emails, you know the nature of the problem. You know, I love paying my bills, but nobody gave me the opportunity to pay my bills.
Okay.
And I wound up in collections, which is even worse, right? Now, to summarize my concern as it relates to
Why
income,
don't you, I'm sorry, I don't mean to.
as it relates to income, I went to go pay online and I saw a charge of $54 as a convenience fee. I don't see anything here in this document that talks about the income that we generated with 384 properties. Let's assume that, you know, just one property per month out of 384 or 385 cases, that's a decent amount of money that you're making. So where is that money?
Yeah, I pay online every month.
$54.
If you go to your bank, if you go, if I don't know if it's Affinity or the bank that they use,
So when they want me to do,
if
they keep telling me that I should
they're
sign up.
online,
They keep
yeah,
telling me I should sign up.
I tried to do that.
Mine
and
says I
forget
did auto pay
for
from
the
my
same
bank.
reason, I'm not gonna pay.
Right.
Yeah, you know, so what I'm saying is, you know, I don't see that.
We just go auto pay from
That's
your
not,
bank.
that's the bank that charges you to use
No,
their.
not the bank.
Okay.
No.
Let me clear this up
Yeah.
for everyone that here, and this goes for everyone that is part of this association. For the last 4 or 5 years, the board meeting is standing. Board meeting has been every third Wednesday of the month or every third Tuesday of the month. It's been standard for the complete
Every
year.
Tuesday.
Tuesday this year, but last year I think it was Wednesday.
My third Tuesday.
Okay, but every third, and it was at 8 o'clock. The association, and any company that I know, is not perfect. There will be some scenarios, but it is the person's responsibility, the responsibility of the owners here. If they can't get contact with who they need to get contact, is to come to a board meeting and speak to one of us. So if the residents say that they are too busy to come to a meeting and come and present their case, then there's not much we can do. In addition to that, the residents have access to sending us email. If they don't send emails, an advisor, and they do that last minute, again, go back to, so the scenario where I'm just saying, just in general, that the responsibility lies with the individuals. Because we need to take some responsibility as saying, okay, yes, I'm not getting in contact, let me try this one. And there's ways to be able to look at things and work. You know, anyone that expects a corporation or business or association perfect, that's a bad application. Because there's gonna be problems, there's gonna be things that if it's not brought to the attention or not brought up, we can't discuss it, or we can't wait till the last minute. Because
That's
things
why I'm
get,
here. That's why I'm here today. Unfortunately, you know,
okay.
uh,
But the issue, any other issue that you might have in reference to your case, we will address that.
no, but this is about money. Right? I'm not here to complain about the association. I'm here to say that, okay,
Okay, but we heard what you said. Do you have anything else?
well,
We heard what you said.
yeah, so I'm talking about income, you know, that system that I'm talking about, times 384 properties, times $54, times a monthly basis, 12 months.
But not everybody uses that.
No, I hear you, but my question is,
And not every homeowner pays their association.
my question is, yeah, my question is, how do we see a breakdown of the actual income that we produce? Is what I'm-
If you go on, and you try to pay like that, that's not an income for the association.
That's
The
what's
bank.
That's the
Who's
bank.
making money?
That's the
Back
bank.
to the bank.
What the heck is this?
So if you just go on and just put in an auto pay from your
No,
account,
I prepay it every year, I mean, which is what I did this time
you don't have
around.
to just put an auto pay every month
Yeah.
like I do.
Yeah, and I offered to pay it again, but they told me, no, you can't pay until we have this meeting, because we don't know what the next year is gonna be. In other words, they said, you can't, I wanted to prepay for 2016, they said, no, sir, you can't do
That's
that,
because
because we're gonna change, we
we're
may change.
trying to raise the
Correct.
assessment,
Correct.
which we hope to do tonight.
Yes.
All right. Any other questions?
Nope.
I move to accept the financial report.
I second.
Been properly second. Richard, all of those in favor?
Aye.
So moved.
I'll go to the management report right now. We were,
Before we go to any other point, I just want to bring to the attention that we do have a new manager, property manager, his name is Carlos Garcia. He's replacing Harriet Quebrada, and he will be with us for the future. And so I just want to make sure I do that. I'm sorry I didn't do that from the beginning. Now, management report, and that's G.
now, first of all, I'd like to make sure, like, if you have any other concerns, feel free to come to the office, and I'll sit down with you and explain everything. If you have an opinion, I'll be more than happy to help you with that as well. Here in the mornings, I'm here from 8 to 12. So, any issues, just give me a call within those hours, and I'll be more than happy to help you with that. We have been working on the overlay project on the streets, as you guys can see. We've done about more than 50% of the east side, and they just finished the drains this week, and now we're going to start redoing and finishing that side, weather permitting this week, which has been raining a lot. I've been working together with Mr. Eduardo Lopez, who's going to send me a schedule to see where he's going to start. Of course, weather permitting, this week has been set back because of the rain. And he estimates the project is probably going to be finishing up like towards the first week of December because of the rain delays, and we have some drainage issues delays as well.
One of the things that I would like to say also in this time is that there was a promissory note that I signed for installation of drainage that was there. At the time that it was in preparation, there was 4 drainage that they thought they were broken. And they gave pictures of, I think, 2, but they thought the same, it looked like the same thing. Well, that came up to about 43,000. What is that?
42,100.
Okay. And for $3,000 on something. I was able to request and negotiate a finance for that to be done now opposed to it in a 1 year in order to do the rest of it. Because what they was one of the things they were saying, they're just going to throw limestone in it, cover it up, put the alpha, and then next year when we had money, they could dig this thing up again. The problem with that I know is that, and you know, is that every day it pass, costs go up in everything. So I went ahead and negotiated that and signed that promissory note. We paid them, I think, $4,000 up front.
10. I will sign the check.
And then so they went ahead and ordered for drainage, and they started this week.
He sent us, gave us credit for one.
And the last one that he had to install was not broken. So they covered that back up, and they gave us a credit of $7,000 and something. So,
It cost us $7,000 for them to dig up and say they didn't need storage, right?
so that's a good news. So they can refigure that, and then we will see what's the difference. It will be less. That's good because was 4 installment. We paid the first, so we have 3 more installment, and we'll be for less. Okay. Now, beside that, again, like Carla said, anywhere between now and the first week of December, everything should be completed. There are some areas that have been identified that get still a little water, pools and so forth, and Edward been writing those up, and I think he showed you those, and there's some issues somewhere. I want you to know that in the contract we are holding back about $43,000, which is that's like a retainer that we hold back, and they have to complete everything out there before we pay that out, and we're supposed to get all the permits, everything completed with the permits and everything before we can turn over the $43,000, which the engineer will have to sign. Everything that we have paid so far, we've paid $129,000 so far. Everything needs to be signed by, how much we paid?
We gave him one check for,
What
the first check for a little bit of money for $30,000, and then we gave him $169,000. We gave him $168,000 the last check, and the first check we gave him was for a smaller check, was for $20,000, $30,000. How much was the first check for? Anybody know? We gave him almost $200,000 already. Yeah.
Not yet, because of the check for $96,000 that need to be picked up, and that's not.
We gave him 168 and, no? What did we give him?
The last check was 129.
129. That's 129.
Yeah,
And how much was the one before?
No, we didn't pay that because they didn't complete. You see,
I signed it.
No, they didn't, yeah, but they didn't pay that.
Okay.
Not
paying is good.
This was the idea. It was, the preparation was supposed to be about $40-something thousand. And then the first layout for the half of the community was $169,000. Okay, they didn't finish the preparation. So the engineer never signed off on that. They finished the south side, so he signed off eventually on $129,000.
Correct.
And that's all. Now they finished a certain amount of piece, I think that it was supposed to be 90-something, 96.
Yeah, $91,000.
$91,000 now, plus they pretty much finished the preparation. So that he just signed off for that, and that's what.
That's going to be the second check I'm going to be picking up.
Second check. That we'll pick up. The contract is for $406,000.
plus 43,000.
Let's,
Excuse me, yes.
Plus
Okay.
43,000 plus some
So that's where we at right now. Okay. If you have any other information for us at this time?
The only other thing that one, what I did is we had to fix the pool gate, that the circuits went bad, so I had to replace the wire because of the elements, but that's
That's been taken care of?
been taken care of. And the lights, they ordered the lights, they came in, they had to go lights, so we had to send them back and replace them, that's why it's a little bit dark to get the
All right. Okay, we're gonna move on to the following point. And the following point has to do with business and number one, we have to vote and a suspension of delinquent of homeowners voting privilege. And did you bought the instruction that we had last year? No. Okay. What we're voting in is, and that's in the diagram, is that, that's in the federal statutes. That any, and we have to vote in that in public, that anyone, any homeowner that is over 90 days in the rear, we can remove them or take away their privilege to vote in the election.
I second.
Any questions? Okay.
Did you make that motion?
Pretty much. A
I-
motion
I
to-
second.
to suspend, motion to suspend on adequate homeowners voting privilege that over 90 days.
I second.
It's been properly seconded by Richard. All of those in favor say aye.
Aye.
So moved. They,
Seconded by Richard. Who made the motion?
Thank you for that.
we have to come up with the election date, and I was thinking, if we look at this calendar, next month, I was thinking that it could be done on the 15th, which is the meeting at the,
Can we do like an 8? The 15th, we're getting really close to Christmas. I got my granddaughters coming down, my
The
sisters
15th?
are coming in. Yeah, we're getting close to Christmas. That's a week
let me
before.
ask you that, when the resident comes in.
Oh, my granddaughters.
And your sister.
My granddaughters are coming in on the 12th. My sister's coming the 13th with her husband and her 2 children. Because I'd like to have that week clear till through January. Can we do it like on the 8th?
Sure. I don't have a problem.
Yeah, that'd be
is
good.
that enough
Tuesday.
notice?
Huh?
Is that enough notice?
Oh, that's right. We have to talk about those.
2 weeks away.
Okay.
And you have the holiday.
Yeah. We have to say with the 15th.
Okay, what can I do? Maybe I won't vote.
I'm glad you both.
We know where you live.
Yeah, I'm glad you both every year. Okay.
I can vote this year.
Okay, so, let's put down for the election date, the 15th of December, 7 o'clock. Voting, the voting, box will open at 6:45, 7 o'clock. Begin the general election. Okay?
Who are we voting for?
I make a motion to place the election date as the 15th of December. The properly second by Fausto. All of those in favor say aye.
Aye.
So set that for the 15th of December. Okay. The next one is the budget. I would like to handle the budget today, just to put together so that I can meet to, is, I will go on the line items. I'm just going to touch the line items, mention the line items. If anyone want to discuss, say something, they say something. Otherwise, we move on to the other line item. Okay?
Can we just answer things everyone can say about it? Instead of going one by one, takes forever. You did this last time.
No, we can walk on. I'm just going to read it.
They can read it themselves. Just say, is there any questions about any line item? Period.
All right. Is there any questions about any line item?
Do I read them all?
Thank you, Nick.
All right.
I have a question, I'm sorry. On our expenses, right, are we doing anything to try to like mitigate costs in terms of like, for example, electricity, for example? There's new technologies that we could be leveraging that over a period of time could minimize our
That's
costs.
why we need the reserves.
Right,
In order to do that in the future.
right. So that's my question.
We don't have any money to do that now, but yeah, that's why we need the reserves. We put away, a few $1,000s, a month for reserves, and in 10 years, we can do things like that. Yeah, use different light bulbs, put different technology that we can't afford right now. We can close our gates here once that association can get together with us again. Make that for residents and make that for everybody. Only pay for one car. We can do a lot in the future, but we need to get together with the other association, which maybe we have a possibility now, and have some money to do it with. Yes. Next.
Question? We got read it? That's what you're all going with.
No.
Oh,
Just show me.
okay.
Please.
Any question about the budget, any line of the budget? Okay, let's look at it this way. Any question on the topic that have to do with income? Okay, we're going to the second one. Any question with the topic that are under expenses?
Yes. I have. Under expenses. If I can find it, I'll tell you about it. No? Okay. We're paying a management company $2,200 a month, which, okay, I agree with that. I don't remember what our original contract called for, but it called for CAM manager at the property so many hours, I'm not sure, a week, so many times a week, something like that, no? And
It's like a use the contract that we need to look at. So we need to look at the contract. And I'm hearing you and saying we need to look at the contract, then let's look at the contract. Right now,
we know what we signed a
no, but
contract
what I'm
for.
saying to you is, we're looking at the budget.
I'm looking at the budget,
So-
but no, I'm not talking about that, I'm talking about our management fee. We have a management fees here, and now we're having another management fee down here of another $36,000 a year, plus medical benefits for that CAM manager a year. Both in our budget. You see here? When you had an administrative assistant that you're paying so much for a 40-hour work week, is one thing. But now you're having a CAM manager, you're going to pay more money to a CAM manager for a 20-hour work week than you were to an administrative assistant for a 40-hour work week. You're going to spend more money. And I don't think we've got a management company. I don't think we need a CAM manager on the property. We need somebody to do the daily work and communicate with the management company for the board, so the board doesn't have to do the work. I wanted to have a meeting about this privately.
No,
No?
Fine, the only thing that I'm saying to you
Uh-huh.
is, we're talking about contract.
No, we're talking about you hired a CAM manager instead of administrative assistant.
No, it is an assistant, Rich.
What?
It is an assistant. That's what we had done last meeting. Just the assistant.
We discussed it last week. The only thing that.
Well, I got a report that says now we're getting somebody for 20 hours a week.
No, that was.
The office hours are from 9 to 12, or what are your office hours?
8 o'clock.
8 to 12. How many days a week?
Uh,
How many hours is that?
No, they.
20. That's half the hours for more money.
Okay. My point to you is,
Yeah.
now what's the point of it? Because you talking, I'm looking at it as you talking about the contract.
No, I'm going, we have a contract. We have a contract. I don't know if you signed a new contract, but we have a contract with our management company that gives us a CAM manager for so many hours a week, 1, 2, 3, I don't know how many hours, but,
And going back to the same point, right here we're talking about money. You're talking about, I understand what you're talking about. You're talking about a contract. You're talking about what's in the contract and what we do.
no, I'm talking about the administrative assistant part. The contract is already, we already
Okay,
have
so
it.
what you're suggesting now, right now, because you voted something last time.
Yeah, I'm suggesting that, no, we don't pay, no, let me go back here. 50, no, $68,000, 60, no, I'm wrong, 36, 62, 62, 62 and 35, 65, $65,000 a year for management services. That's what I'm suggesting. I'm suggesting we pay less. For more hours, which means we don't need a CAM manager on our property for 20 hours a week. We need a CAM manager on our property for 4 hours a week. I don't know, how much do we normally get out of our normal contract? I'm asking here.
Will that be a contract discussion? I'm talking about contract, what you want, what you expect to pay for. Should that be on the?
No, it depends on, has nothing to do with the contract. Are these contracted employees, or is this an employee, that we hire that's paid through our management company? Or is it a contracted employee that we sign a contract with?
This is contract.
I don't think that has anything to do, this has to do with how you're gonna spend your money. You don't wanna talk about it, I won't talk about it.
No,
but I think-
my point is to you is the issue that no one want to talk about. My point to you is you're dealing with budget right now. What you're talking about, I do understand what you're talking about, but that's part of the contract. We have to look at the contract.
Okay, set it up for our next meeting, that we talk about a contract.
That's all I'm explaining to you.
You could always spend less.
Yes.
Just because you accepted this budget doesn't mean you have to spend it.
I realize that.
Right, that's what I'm putting to you. Okay,
I have no more questions.
thank you. Going to the line item, the general and administrative total, we have the utilities. Anyone have any questions about utilities, on the utilities? Okay, we're going to the following. Anyone have any question about maintenance under those line items on maintenance?
I do, the general maintenance, what goes that for, Rich?
Gentlemen, is painting,
No, everything that have to do with
changing the lights.
That we could correct.
Yeah.
No,
No.
that's what we do it at ground. Let's say, for instance, we purchase all the sensors for the lights, we
Okay.
purchase the light bulb, like we can purchase the Christmas light that we need to purchase. Everything that we have to do come out of the painting, all the painting come out of or cleaning, we come with total maintenance. Okay. Anything under contractual service? Okay. Since there's no questions, then everyone can see the difference between the budget 2015 and 2016. At this time, I make a motion to accept the budget for 2016.
With reserves?
Yes, with reserves, a complete budget.
I second.
With the reserve, I'm sorry, with the reserves in the back second sheet. With the reserve, and the assessment will be $128.
I second.
Been properly seconded by Richard. Wolf. Question? All of those in favor say aye.
Aye.
So moved. Okay, now. At this time, we give the opportunity, which is advantage for those who get any comment, concern by the resident. Okay, what's up?
Yeah, question. What's the latest on the west?
The latest on the west, the new board is in. They have the president, which is Rafael Gomez, the treasurer slash secretary, which is Maria. The other one is vice president, so I can't remember his name. We've been talking, and they already decided on a management company, Caribbean Management. But up to today, up to yesterday, up to yesterday, the whole board has not turned over the documentation. The lawyer,
Sounds familiar.
the lawyer already filed a suit against the board because they're going against the state
Oh, yeah.
decision. So I already filed a suit against not only the president, but the property management, the realtors out there. So that's in progress to get all the documentation. The security company, he told me they're replacing already. Previous one, I don't think was a security company. They have a new security company over there. They will be putting something together to give us, for us to be able to place all the residents in our system over here. I've expressed to them that if less than 10, we can put it in for them, but if it's over 10, they have to get us some more team for that. So they've been working on that.
Less than 10 residents?
If they give us less than 10 to put in the system, place them in the system, we can do that. But if they come with 15, 20,
I understand that, but they have 200 and some odd residents, we have to have them all in, don't you?
No, I mean, I don't know. That's why I just give it them. That's on them. They agree already to have the Christmas party with us. So that have to be planned out to see how much they will be facing and how we can work that out with the food. They agree with us about doing the gates. That's going to be the latter part of next year. We're looking at it because they have to get a grip on what they have, on what's happening, and then they will be able to work that out. As you know, they go through a transition process with their resident. The resident has not been following the rules for almost 7 years. So already they're giving them a hard time on the gates. So that's going to be issue that they have to deal with.
Who's giving them a hard time, the gates?
The resident,
Are giving
the
the
security.
They own security.
new security, they're giving them a hard time?
They're giving, the residents are giving new security a hard time.
Why is that?
Because
Because-
they're making
because
us
they
have
got their
stickers
own-
and
their own-
stop and show ID.
Yeah, right.
Oh, okay, I understand that.
Not just hopefully for everybody.
Yeah, they're not going on the old thing.
On this plan.
As I tell all my friends, coming back. No problem.
And we agree pretty much that we're trying to work together on a lot of things in the future.
That'd be nice.
And I already told them that I can, next week, I can try to put a letter together with some goals that would say that both of us will agree to work together next year and do certain goals. They have a handyman now. And what else?
I mean, the manager, the president's not doing the handiwork now?
So,
You know, he's never gonna turn out those records you'll go to jail.
as
He's
usual,
gonna just deny everything, just like the last one did.
And say
The
that
insurance company will pay him 50 grand for their mess up, and that'll be the end, just like happened with us. They're gonna deny everything, because otherwise they'll go right to jail. You know? Now, the management company might have a problem.
Yes.
No, they might have.
so they have a lot of work. I've told them they have a lot of work ahead of themselves. So, but I'm happy that there's a new board over there. And I think last Wednesday, they asked me that we use the July meeting, and I told them okay, and they came and have a meeting here with the resident. So the resident asked them about the pool, why they can't use the pool. They was clear to tell them pool was done for the east, but it was always used as a bait for the west to sell their homes. So there's but the pool on the west on nothing to do with the pool.
I realize we have too many people living here for both sides to have unlimited access to the pool. But isn't there some kind of, so a bunch of people on this side don't use the pool at all? Isn't there some kind of way to let like a membership program for the pool?
Well,
That,
you know those-
not basically to charge, but to have like a membership program. So here you have so many people that are allowed to use the pool by law a year. Now, and you have to sign up actually to use the pool if you're on the east or the west. Now, maybe, I'm just throwing this out there. And then the people that want to use the pool can sign up.
your idea is a good one. When you get that, it will solve it.
Okay.
Because it's easy to talk about it, but it's another story when it comes down to you pay the bills over here. So, get it down on paper, and then we can look at it.
We have some ideas.
Okay,
Yeah.
we can talk about it.
Yeah. But the plan is to work with the West very closely and next year and be able to, definitely one of the goals that I think that we need to is to upgrade the gate system. The gate system that we have, if I'm not mistaken, is from 2004. Probably older than that. It's really obsolete.
How many board members do they have?
But,
I would like to make 6 board members and make 1 association.
well, that's, all of that is up to for discussion. And because you're talking with people that listen and will be able to talk to us
I
and
feel that,
all of that.
We have both.
Yeah. So, that's so far what I have.
Okay.
Well, if you decide to put together a committee to work with them on the gates, I'll volunteer for that.
So, remember that, you know,
Like, nobody write
Tell
that
them they
down.
won't forget.
Some camera.
Can't prove
I already
yourself.
wrote it in, call Nick for all volunteer work.
okay now.
That's what we're sure.
Nothing else to say? make a motion to adjourn the meeting.
I second.
Been properly seconded by Richard. All those in favor? So moved. Meeting is adjourned. Thank you.